which is to handle both APCRDA and ADCL. So, ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో, you might have got the sense that we have 40 people within APCRDA and ADCL from the Labor Department, Environment, Biodiversity, Gender, Grievances, Lands and Horticulture and Landscaping. So, these 40 people will be directly interacting with the contractors on day-to-day basis. Initially, we have divided the whole team into 4 groups. Prati group lo kuda all the subject matter experts untaru. Mandate given by us is they have to be on the field at least half of the day. We have arranged vehicles for them. So prati roju first half gani second half gani they will be in one or other project. They might have interacted with you. This is the constant affair for next 2 years for them. In the initial month, we will be guiding the contractor and everyone to ensure that all the safeguards are done. And from the next month onwards, they will be reporting to us if there are any non-compliances. And we have already floated a tender for getting an ICT tool for the construction management as well as the quality management. Inherently, there is a module in that for E&S and OHS management also. PMCs will be reporting on day-to-day basis. They will be reporting the monthly reports from the particular application only. Similarly, the contractor will be doing the reporting from the application only. All the NCRs, whenever our team visits the field, if they feel any non-compliances to the CSMPs, EMPs, they will be raising the NCR record through the application only, where contractor will be notified through a message, email and WhatsApp automatically. So these 3 things will be automatically notified to the contractor through WhatsApp, through SMS and through email whenever they raise the NCR. So ఇంతకు ముందు ఏదైతే తమీజ్ మీకు చెప్పారో దాంట్లో any non-compliances will be raised by our team who will be on the constant field visit on the day-to-day basis. So అందుచేత it is better that we don't raise any NCRs. If everything is compliant, we won't raise any NCRs. Since that this team will be reviewed on day-to-day basis by me and Commissioner, so we'll be having a weekly reviews with them. If you have any issues, this team can convey the same to me. Similarly, I'll be interacting with you on maybe weekly basis or bi-weekly basis over the teleconference, maybe monthly in a physical meeting. So you can also come back to me and raise any other issues. Apart from that, we are going to fly the drones. 4 teams we are trying to deploy to identify any unsafe conditions and any unsafe work practices. So they are going to capture all the hotspot locations and all the work conditions. Somebody will be analyzing the footage and it will be recorded. So all these safeguards are kept in place not to threaten anyone but to ensure that all the compliances are done. Because if a life is lost, it is lost. So we cannot bring anyone back. So we have to do everything even before that. సో అందరికీ అర్థమైందని చెప్పి అనుకుంటాను. అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం ఇందాక ఒక పర్టికులర్ ఆస్పెక్ట్ ఎంఫసైజ్ చేయలేదు, స్నేక్ బైట్స్. సో సిన్స్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్కవేషన్స్ వుడ్ బి డన్, స్నేక్ బైట్స్కి ఎక్కువ ఛాన్స్ ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి మీరు పెట్టే అంబులెన్సెస్లోను మీరు పెట్టే మెడికల్ ఫెసిలిటీస్లో కూడా ఖచ్చితంగా ఈ యాంటీ వీనం ఏఆర్వీస్ కానీ ఏఎస్వీస్ అందరి దగ్గర ఖచ్చితంగా ఉండాలి. బోత్ ఏఆర్వీస్ అండ్ ఏఎస్వీస్. there is a chance for dog bites also కాబట్టి ARVs and ASVs ఖచ్చితంగా పెట్టుకుంటే కనుక there is a chance for reducing the any accidents from this regard. Okay.
Give you the crux. These are the mandatory requirements. Without giving any excuse, we have to follow on the side, right? And other things which you may like if you want to go for in details, all those things are, all informations are there in the annexes. So I'll start from SOP 3, please. Like since we have decided like SOP 3 goal is basically just to go for the reductions and reutilization of aspects in terms of energy, material and management of the pollution, which we'll be covering in the following slide. And this you have to take in a 3 stages like planning stage, construction and operation stage. How it has to be done, we'll be dealing in details. And the further details, if you want further more specific which is related to your project site or project activity, you can go for the annexures. Please, next. Yeah. Like since we discussed also yesterday, EHS Sparks, basically we need to develop site-specific contractors, environment and safety management plan, which is we are already doing it. Based on that, we need to assign environmental, social and safety related persons in execute or carry out the activities on day-to-day basis, which we are already doing it. And implementation aspects, if we talk about whatever we have mentioned in CSMP, these all are actually a mother document, so you can say Bible for us, for this project to be executed. As and when there is any amendment or changes, we'll let you know, and we'll also help you to incorporate in the existing systems so that we can have a smooth transition or the execution of these projects. And if we talk about the tracking systems, we know we have to have a continuous monitoring on the air, water and the water quality. These are the primarily main requirements for us. There are others also, but these are the main thing we need to ensure, and we need to make sure like whatever risk assessment we have carried out, all those assessments has to be mitigated and they should be at site. Next slide. Yeah, if we talk about the stormwater and the soil erosion control, three things we need to ensure and make sure like we are actually installing silt fences on all our sedimentation tanks. We know we have these water bodies inside these villages. Do we have or not? Yeah, please say loudly so that I can also listen. And second is we need to avoid any digging or a construction or excavation activity during rainy time. Right? I won't say during monsoon, but yeah, definitely if it is raining, then we need to avoid. Why do we need to avoid that? Can anyone answer me? Can we have a mic? Please be quick and fast because I want to make it interactive because people should not sleep.
Water will be accumulated into the excavation and it will be danger to the people living surroundings of the public.
Basically sedimentation trap you're talking about, right? Sedimentation will go into the water body. That will actually affecting the carrying capacity of water body, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And we need to cover the loose soil or stockpiles. Why do we need to cover it? Yeah, to prevent erosion or to prevent its fertility, right? Can we have next slide, please? Yeah, this pollution prevention measurement and water resources, there is a bit of tricky actually things. Most of the people are confused. What is the difference between prevention, pollution, or pollution prevention and control of pollution? There are two terminologies we are interchangingly used. Control of pollution and pollution of prevention. What is the difference? Anyone? Why am I using this terminology? These are the words which you will be frequently hearing from us whenever we do a site visit.
Prevention is an advanced proactive method to prevent this thing. And another thing is after occurrence, the effective measures to be taken. So that is the difference between these two.
Perfect, sir. It's a proactive approach and second one is a reactive approach. So which one we should follow?
Actually, proactive is always better.
Proactive.
Prevention is better than cure.
Great. So this is what this particular slide or picture represents you. Like wherever we need to see a proactive approach. Can you have a next slide, please? And in terms of resource efficiency, like we need to see integrated approach. What does that mean? Integrated means whenever we need to come up any activity, we need to start from the planning itself. Like, okay, if we are going for purchase any equipments, we need to see at the planning stage, it should be energy efficient. In terms of any means, water efficient, energy efficient, and other related activities. Second is, we need to see whatever resources we are using, they should be efficiently used in terms of water, energy, raw material and other natural resources. And this also includes your energy efficiency system which will impact a low to environmental. Why do we need to go for energy efficient systems? Any two good reasons? Very good. Economy and the less pollution. Why I have answers from this side also. Are these people sleeping over there or like are they not getting what I'm saying? Do you need a translator or is it okay? Sorry? You need a mic? Okay. Can you please give it a mic to him? Yeah. Sir, please, can you stand up so that our people can see where you are? We can go for the next slide, please. Please be interactive, otherwise interactive because this is your baby. You have to nurture it further. You have to take it further, right? Anyways, second point which I was asking, why do we need to separate is because two aspects are, one is economy, second is environmental. Why economy? Because when we need to carry out or set up any wastewater treatment facility, we decide it based on the MLD, right? How much quantities we are going to generate per day, based on that we decide the capacity. If we merge both the capacity, grey water and the black water, then the capacity would be lesser or higher? Higher. That means we need to invest more on it, right? So if we segregate it further at the initial stage, then we need to spend less on environmental protection. So by this we'll be having a win-win situation. It doesn't mean that we need not to spend any on it, but I'm just giving an idea how we have to take proactive approach, because if we need to consider everything at the planning stage, and reuse of treated wastewater, which we just discussed about the grey water primarily for the flushing activity, and the scientific disposal of sludge, which like direction you might have already received. We have a STP plant where you can send your sludge to be disposed in an environmental responsible manner. And whatever necessary, like environmental statutory permission we discussed this morning, you need to take out CTO, CTE, and EC if there is any new project activity. And we need to also make sure like what all safety provisions in terms of sedimentation tank and training the person who has to carry out on such activity, like which are involving safety hazards or which are involving deep excavation works. We need to make sure they are properly trained. Next, please. And for air pollution, actually, we have categorized into two aspects. First is basically air pollution prevention measure, which you rightly pointed out, it's a proactive approach. Second, we have actually measured what if it happens somehow, we cannot do actually at the, what should be done? Like regular water sprinkling, installation of barrier or enclosure all along your dust generating activity, and water sprinkling in two aspects, which is basically stockpile of your batching plant, and whatever raw material you're using at site, that should be covered either with a tarpaulin or they continuously 24/7 if they should be either wet if we are not covering with any material. Second is whatever vehicle we have, they should meet with the BS4 standard or have a valid PUC certificate. Without checking all this, minimum bare document, any vehicle should not enter in your premises. Whenever we visit a site, yeah, please, sir.
Actually, with respect to the black water and the grey water, what we are saying, generally in our country, because we are designing the underground sewage system by collecting both the things in the sewer line. Okay, nowadays. That entire thing will be collected and sent to the STP through that intermediate pumping stations or lift station like that. So this is mainly to reduce the dilution factor. It will also be helpful. Apart from that, to maintain the cleansing velocity of the system, underground sewage system, that will be helpful. But now we are not separating separately black water or grey water. That is being collected separately, the outside conditioner being given to the underground sewage system in any town. So that is the thing existing, sir.
Sir, we will do, that's what we are here to discuss, right? Thank you for your valuable inputs. Yeah, I was talking about the second point is batching plant. Wherever you have a batching plant, you have to have a sedimentation tank. What will that do is, whenever your TM, transit mixture, carry any material, it has to be washed, right? So that has to be washed only at the designated location. It should not be the case that you're dumping here and there and on some other premises, because I've been traveling, like I've been doing a site visit for the last 3 days. I've seen several instances where you do not have as such any designated location. This is a must go on process. Without this, nothing is going to happen at the batching plant, because we have already seen in our previous or past experience, batching plants is a worst location to visit because it's continuously slushy. Do you agree it or not? Say loudly here. I mean, sir. Yeah. And after that, vehicle, whatever vehicle we have, if it is loaded, then the load should be covered. First thing is they should not be overloaded. Second, they should always be covered whenever they are traveling from your premises to outside. And we need to have this wheel wash facility for the vehicle which are actually leaving your premises. To the points we can directly do. For the non-premises, we need to carry out ambient air quality monitoring or ambient this environmental monitoring that we need to see. And for batching plant particularly, we have a conveyor belt and the hoppers where we put all the materials, and materials actually loaded from one location to another. All those materials should be covered so that we can control measures at the place itself, so that we should not have air pollution or other aspects. And your whatever building area where we are working, all the premises, outer periphery of a building should be covered with a green net. because we'll be doing this grinding activity, we'll be doing a cutting activity. These are the primary source of air pollution generations like dust generation, PM10 and other parameters. So we need to cover the building wherever we are working, area, irrespective it's a village area or irrespective it's a area where we have already have inhabitants. Next please.
And we have ambient air quality station, one at Secretariat, the interim government complex. And we are establishing 3 more such stations, which will be reported directly to the Central Pollution Control Board website. So automatically, if you don't take these measures, the air quality, the particulate matter PM 2.5 and PM 10 will keep reflecting in the air quality index. So please ensure that the source control takes place for all such activities. Simultaneously, the important aspect regarding the wheel washing and maintaining the batching plants in a proper shape is really crucial. So this is not being done now. So we are emphasizing, and I am again emphasizing because please go back and please rework all these things which are not in a good shape. Please carry on.
Thank you, sir, for making. What we will do is wherever we have to use horn, particularly during night time, if we have to carry out any activity, we'll be using a blinkers or a light instead of horn. Okay? Yes? No? Yes. We'll not be blowing any horn during night time.
Anyone from the traffic? DTC? You're from the DTC? You're from the transport office? Okay. So that is why we have included all the relevant line agencies also. They will be speaking to you in the afternoon, because we are going to issue clear instructions to them to abate, to combat all these activities, to be trained on these things specifically. So a lot of vehicles are moving now. Lot of tippers, 15 to 18 cubic meters tippers, 5-unit vehicles. Lot of these are moving repeatedly, even in the VIP routes like N9 road, seed access road. So drivers need to be ensured all the safety precautions regarding the vehicle movements also, not to overtake, not to cross the lanes without the signals. So the basic things need to be followed, because multiple times we have been traveling in these routes. I see a lot of truck drivers overtaking, not even when they move the lane, they don't even put the signal. So please ensure that you go back again and train all your drivers also. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And other measures where we are actually having a high noise generating activity, that area should be highlighted as a high noise zone area. There should be some marking or earmarks, and we need to make some enclosures for that, so that this noise should not come out, because they should be trapped at the source itself. And for the noise barrier, if it is possible, wherever we have come across any sensitive location like school, college and hospital, we need to take a special emphasis on this. And dampness and silencers, we need to make sure it is being used. Next slide, please. And for waste management, since we have been discussing this morning, we'll be doing that and all. So this is the prerequisites and the basic things we need to carry out. Whatever kind of a waste, be it hazardous, non-hazardous, biological, non-biological, infectious in nature, construction and demolition waste, chemical waste, spillage, any kind of waste material. It should be first and foremost thing, it should be collected. There should be a proper provision for, based on the waste category, it should be properly collected. Second, it should be segregated. Why do we need to have a segregation? Anyone? Perfectly. Disposal process depends on the nature of the waste. Perfectly agree. So if I put up a question for you guys, like I have a normal waste, which say rotten fruits or whatever it is we have.
Degradable,
right?
biodegradable.
From the kitchen waste, yes. And I have some oil-soaked cotton, like you can say some engineer came and he did some maintenance of the diesel. Second is an engineer came actually, he did some maintenance for the diesel generator sets. Some oil and all those things they have removed, and filters are also there, and they actually mixed together in one area. So which category of waste you would call it, and how would you treat it? Is it a hazardous waste or it is a normal waste? Why it is hazardous? We have other waste also, right? Because of oil and all.
Oil and all, yes.
Okay, means priority is given to the kind of a waste. Perfectly agree. So if I ask you to separate into two aspects, in that case, is it advisable or it should not be? It is advisable.
Yeah.
No, sir, I got your point, but my question was not on that. My question is, we have given you a scenario. If I ask you to separate the waste, so would you advise at that point of time, or would you say, no, it should not be done?
It can be separated into biodegradable and degradable.
I agree with the ma'am's confirmation, because once it is mixed, it is mixed. You cannot do anything in it. It has to be done at the source itself. Achha, what is the difference between segregation or separation? Because we have been talking a lot, right? It should be segregated, it should be collected, it should be separated. What is the difference? Okay, any other point?
Separation means only dry and wet. Segregation means each particular waste will be segregated.
Okay, any other point? Yes, I just out of this, nothing is wrong and right, but as per the legal requirement which I am talking about, actually two answers are very correct. One is from sir and second is from you only. Segregation is a source itself. And for waste category, if we have any hazardous category, separation is not at all applicable. So please make sure this thing in your mind, because whenever you are implementing such things in your site, if you do not follow such things, then you will be having a huge or piles of waste material which is hazardous in nature, and your cost will be on a higher side. Okay, next slide please. Yeah, next we just discussed. Second. I'll be just skipping slides because we just discussed wild interactions. Next slide please. Yeah, this is a most important thing actually, topsoil. So topsoil, you know, top 15 to 30 centimeter. Why it is to be maximum of organic compound and interaction of biodiversity, which we cannot see from our naked eye. That is why it is called as a topsoil. It has to be scrapped before or after project execution. Before, who was telling after? It has to be collected before, and it has to be kept at a particular location. It should be covered either with a grass, tarpaulin or any other material, so that we should not have it run off while we have a rain. And once our activity is complete, it should be used for the construction stage material which we discussed since morning. So I'll be skipping these slides. Same thing we discussed, nothing is new, but you have to again go for the annexes. Same thing we discussed, like DG should be approved. It should have acoustic enclosure, fugitive emissions, and exhaust emission from the vehicles. All those things need to be monitored if they are exceeding biodiversity, because we are lagging behind. All these things we discussed this morning. Yeah, again. Yeah. Now biodiversity, if we talk about, these are basic things we need to consider, and this is again a bylaws for us. I mean, it's like a Bible. We cannot go. First is basically whatever agriculture land we have, it should be protected, or if it is linked with the forest. Any answer for this? How come they are beneficial? What exotic do? Do they release toxins or what?
Environment, so they actually to enhance that particular environment of flora and fauna, that particular local vegetables or local things only, they give us those nutrients as an example. So as compared to exotic ones. So that
perfectly. I just put out add on some few points. When we talk about it is good for us. Second is they are actually acclimatized to the ambience where we are already going to put them up. It is like we are going outside country and we are not favorable to their environment, so we may fall sick. It is like that. We may not be giving us 100%. Like the same thing, that is why we are emphasizing more on an indigenous species, because you don't have to do much on it. Second is whatever tree we are falling in our premises, if they are coming across an ROW, we need to take a prior permission from local authority or intimation to us. It's not either way, it's both the way actually we have to do. Both the things has to be complied with. And mitigation measures means like if we come across any biodiversity conservation plans, whatever remedial measures that will be suggested in that, we'll communicate to you and you have to implement it at site. Can we go for the next slide please? Yeah. What to avoid? See, if there is any felling of tree or there is any activity which we need to do in the forest area or near tree, if we are having any nesting activity on it, or any sensitive area, or if it is a night time, we try to refrain such activity during those time. Second is what to protect. We need to protect natural corridor during work activity. Like if we have a near water body, canal, or forest area, or any particular tree, we try to make that, we should make minimum harm to that, instead of having our luxury of workspace, right? And engaging the translocation experts for relocation, we know some people think that it's very easy to uproot a plant from here to here. It is actually not the way. We need to take seek external, or you can say expert advice on it, and we need to seek it. And we'll definitely help you on this if you come across any of such activity. And legal, I've told you, we need to take a prior permission. Can we have next please? Yeah, biodiversity conservation plan is, I've told you, this Tadepalli area, reserve forest area. This is a must go on activity, and this is basically defined by our EC condition. We are not supposed to touch it in either way during, before and after construction activity. So we have to be very cautious. If anything goes wrong against in this activity, then you all will be actually held responsible for this. Even we also part of it. We'll also make sure it should not happen actually. This is the area because they are preserved as a green lungs. If they are not there, then we will be able to breathe properly. Any answer? Yes, we won't be able to breathe properly. That is why they are called as a green lungs, and they are kept as it is without any disturbance. And we'll also make and show like we should do social development or a sustainable development in terms of natural resources. Any idea what is a conservation or a protection? Because we have been, this is the word we keep on using, environmental protection, environmental conservation. What is the difference between two? Any point? Any environmentalist? Any other person? Guys, please pick up something. No one?
Protection, prevention, action, conservation, corrective.
Okay. Sir, I am just asking the difference. What is the difference between conservation and the protection?
Sources protection is protection. Conservation is.
Yeah, sir, wait a minute. Can you give her, and please you carry on, sir. Mic to ma'am. Yeah. Please, sir.
Protection, actually, conservation means conserve the natural sources. Protection also natural source protection.
So there is a slight difference. Yeah.
Biodiversity conservation is at present we should use it, as well as we have to save it for future generations also.
Perfectly. And protection?
Protection is at our own limits, we have to use it in a better way.
Perfectly. Actually, there is a very slight difference. Like conservation, we have to seek future generations' point of view also. And protection means protection. We can't do anything. And I believe it's second last slide for me. Yeah. For habitat management, if we have any existing population of any like flora and the fauna, how do we have to interact and how do we need to do this? Will we ensure that you need to inform your workers what to be done at site or what not to be done at site. If we are having any area which is sensitive or eco-sensitive in nature, like premises, and we need to make sure whatever we are using any fencing activity with a bush or shrubs or a herbs, they should be indigenous in nature. They'll act two ways. One is basically they protect the air pollution because they're making it as a trap for them, and second is they'll also enhance the greenery for the vegetation. Definitely oxygen will also be released. And we need to establish a buffer zone during the vegetation, buffer zone of vegetation in and around our premises. That will also give a pleasant appeal for the whoever is coming from the to the site. And we need to also follow whatever waste management plan that we have given it to you, that should be strictly followed, right? Segregation, treatment, collection, and transportation and disposal. Can we have next slide, please? This is the main point actually for the training. We know that people from different domain, different background actually working on this project. So we need to make sure whosoever is involved in that particular, they should be expert, at least competitive in nature in their respective domain. Be it an environmental person, be it a safety person, be it a contractual labor or a worker who has to work or carry out any activity in any premises. So training, basically on job site training and awareness training, that should be imparted. So if you have any question, or else I'll ask my colleague, Mr. Praman, to say a few words on it. You can directly ask him, otherwise I'm also here. Mr. Praman, please.
The points in the SOP 1 and now 3 and 5. I want to stress few points. కొన్ని ఇంపార్టెంట్ పాయింట్స్ని స్ట్రెస్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాను. ఇప్పటివరకు డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్న ఈ ఎస్ఓపీస్ తర్వాత సిఎస్ఎంపీస్ ఇవన్నీ కూడా మనం ఎక్కడి నుంచో తీసుకొచ్చి పెట్టినవి కాదు. ఫస్ట్ థింగ్, ఇవన్నీ కూడా కండిషన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్ క్లియరెన్స్ ఇష్యూ టు ది క్యాపిటల్ సిటీ. సో మ్యాండేటరీగా అందరం, అంటే అది క్యాపిటల్ సిటీ సిఆర్డీఏ కావచ్చు, లేకుంటే ఏడీసీఎల్ కావచ్చు, ఆర్గనైజేషన్స్ తరపున వర్క్ చేసిన సంస్థలు కావచ్చు, మ్యాండేటరీగా అందరూ కూడా ఖచ్చితంగా ఫాలో అవ్వాల్సినవే. సో దాని నుంచి ఇవన్నీ కూడా మనకి వచ్చాయి. అక్కడ ఉన్న ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ ప్లాన్లో ఉన్న కండిషన్సే మనం ఇప్పుడు సిఎస్ఎంపీ కండిషన్స్ కింద మనం ఇన్కార్పొరేట్ చేయడం జరిగింది మీ యొక్క రెస్పెక్టివ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్లో. దట్ ఈస్ ఫస్ట్ థింగ్. నెక్స్ట్ వచ్చేసి ఇప్పటివరకు ఎవరు కూడా క్వారీస్ కావచ్చు, తర్వాత మీ ప్లాంట్స్ కావచ్చు, ఆర్ఎంసీస్ కావచ్చు, క్రషర్స్, వాట్ ఎవర్ ఇట్ ఈస్, ఐదర్ యు ఆర్ డైరెక్ట్లీ స్టార్టింగ్ ఏ ప్లాంట్ ఆర్ ఎల్స్ యు ఆర్ ప్రొక్యూరింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ ఎనీ అదర్ ఎక్స్టర్నల్ ఏజెన్సీ. మీరు ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ చేసిన బయట నుంచి మీరు తెచ్చుకుంటున్నా, యూ హ్యావ్ టు ఎన్ష్యూర్ దట్ వాళ్ళకి క్లియరెన్స్ ఉంది ఫ్రమ్ ది స్టేట్ ఎన్వైరన్మెంటల్ ఇంపాక్ట్ అసెస్మెంట్ అథారిటీ అనేది ఫస్ట్ ఖచ్చితంగా ఎన్ష్యూర్ చేసుకోవాలి. దట్ ఈస్ మ్యాండేటరీ కండిషన్ అండర్ law of the land as well as a bank condition also. Okay, when you are submitting complaints, the first thing we are going to see that one. మళ్ళీ చెప్తున్నాను, ఎక్కడి నుంచి మీరు మెటీరియల్స్ తీసుకొచ్చుకున్నా, ఎనీ క్వారీస్ నుంచి తీసుకొచ్చుకున్నా, తర్వాత ఎనీ ప్రాసెస్ మెటీరియల్ తీసుకొచ్చినా ఎక్కడైనా ప్లాంట్ నుంచి మీరు ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ చేసినా, లేకుంటే క్వారీస్ మీకు హ్యాండ్ ఓవర్ చేసినా, మిమ్మల్ని ఆపరేట్ చేయమన్నా కూడా దానికి ఖచ్చితంగా ప్రయర్ పర్మిషన్స్ ఉండాలి. ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ క్లియరెన్స్ అయితే అది తీసుకోవాలి. అండ్ సబ్సిక్వెంట్గా యూ హ్యావ్ టు టేక్ కన్సెంట్ ఫ్రమ్ ది పొల్యూషన్ కంట్రోల్ బోర్డ్. ఇప్పటివరకు ఎవరైతే తీసుకున్నారో దట్ ఈస్ వెల్ అండ్ గుడ్. ఫ్యూ ఆఫ్ ద పీపుల్ హ్యావ్ షేర్ ది డేటా విత్ అస్. తీసుకున్న వాళ్ళు ఇంకా షేర్ చేయాల్సింది ఉంటే ప్లీజ్ షేర్ ద డేటా. అండ్ ఇంకా అప్లై చేయాల్సిన వాళ్ళు ఉంటే ఖచ్చితంగా అప్లై చేయాలండి. దట్ ఈస్ ఫస్ట్ థింగ్. నెక్స్ట్, రిగార్డింగ్ వేస్ట్ వాటర్ ట్రీట్మెంట్, ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ షుడ్ మ్యాండేట్. ఫస్ట్ సెషన్లో మీరు SOP 1లో డైరెక్టర్ ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ యూ ది ఈసీ కండిషన్స్. ఓకే, సో దాని నుంచి వచ్చినది SOP 3 అనేది. సో ఆన్ సైట్ వేస్ట్ వాటర్ ట్రీట్మెంట్. సో రివర్ కృష్ణ, తర్వాత స్ట్రీమ్స్ అండ్ వాటర్ బాడీస్, ఓకే, ఇదేది కూడా మనము పొల్యూట్ చేయడానికి లేదు. వీఆర్ నాట్ సపోజ్ టు లెట్ ఐదర్ ట్రీటెడ్ ఆర్ అన్ట్రీటెడ్ ఇన్ టు ఎనీ ఆఫ్ ది వాటర్ బాడీస్ యాజ్ పర్ ది లా ఆఫ్ ది ల్యాండ్. ఓకే, దానికోసమని మనం పెట్టింది ఏంటంటే ఆన్ సైట్ వేస్ట్ వాటర్ ట్రీట్మెంట్ సిస్టమ్స్ ఖచ్చితంగా ఉండాలి. సో ఫర్ ఆల్ కైండ్స్ ఆఫ్ వేస్ట్ వాటర్, ఇదర్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ రన్ ఆఫ్స్ కావచ్చు, వేస్ట్ వాటర్ ఫ్రమ్ ది ఆర్ఎంసీ ప్లాంట్స్ కావచ్చు, తర్వాత మీ సీవేజ్ ఫ్రమ్ ది లేబర్ క్యాంప్ కావచ్చు, సీవేజ్ ఫ్రమ్ ది సైట్ ఆఫీస్ కావచ్చు. సో దీస్ పర్టికులర్ వేస్ట్ వాటర్స్ హ్యావ్ టు బి ట్రీటెడ్ ఆన్ సైట్ అండ్ యు ఆర్ సపోజ్ టు రీయూజ్ ఇట్ ఫర్ ది డస్ట్ సపరేషన్ పర్పస్ ఆర్ హార్టికల్చరల్ పర్పసెస్. దిస్ హ్యాస్ బీన్ ఇన్కార్పొరేటెడ్ ఇన్ యువర్ CSMPs. సో అన్ని రకాల వ్యర్థాలు, వేస్ట్ వాటర్స్ కావచ్చు, అవన్నీ కూడా మనం ఆన్ సైట్లోనే ట్రీట్ చేయాలి. దానికి సరిపడా ఫెసిలిటీస్ మనకి ఖచ్చితంగా మీ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ సైట్లో కావచ్చు, లేబర్ క్యాంప్లో కావచ్చు ఖచ్చితంగా ఉండాలండి. దాని మీద రిపోర్టింగ్ ఉంది. దట్ ఈస్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ది KPIs ఆల్సో, కీ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ ఇండికేటర్స్. అది వన్ ఆఫ్ ది కీ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ ఇండికేటర్స్. సో ఖచ్చితంగా మీరు ఫాలో అవ్వాలి.
KPIకి సంబంధించిన కంప్లైంట్స్ సబ్మిట్ చేస్తే ఈ ఫండింగ్ ఏదైతే ఉందో వరల్డ్ బ్యాంక్ అండ్ ADB ఫండింగ్, అది డైరెక్ట్ లోన్ కాదు, అది బేస్డ్ ఆన్ సమ్ అచీవ్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ ద స్పెసిఫిక్ ప్రీ అగ్రీడ్ టర్మ్స్ అండ్ కండిషన్స్ మాట. సో దాంట్లో భాగంగా విల్ బీ సబ్మిటింగ్ కంప్లైంట్స్ ఫర్ దట్ KPI. దెన్ ఆ పర్టికులర్ KPIకి ఉన్న ఆ పర్టికులర్ టార్గెట్కి ఉన్న అమౌంట్ విల్ బి డిస్పర్స్ ఫ్రమ్ ద బ్యాంక్స్. సో అది అచీవ్ చేయలేకపోతే దట్ ఫండ్ విల్ నాట్ బి దేర్. సో దట్ విల్ బి అగైన్ ఇంపోజ్డ్ యాజ్ ఎ పెనాల్టీ బేసికల్లీ. సో అందుచేత ఆ కంప్లైంట్స్ ఈజ్ వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్.
అలాగే దానికి మనము ఆర్గానిక్ వేస్ట్ కంపోస్టింగ్ అనేది ఆన్ సైట్ అనేది మనం ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ చేసుకోవాలి. అండ్ రెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ది వేస్ట్, వేరే వేస్ట్కి, వేరే వ్యర్థాలకి విచ్ ఆర్ రీసైక్లబుల్, విచ్ ఆర్ హజార్డస్ ఇన్ నేచర్. దానికి మనము గుంటూరు అండ్ తర్వాత కృష్ణా డిస్ట్రిక్ట్స్లో ఆథరైజ్డ్ ఏజెన్సీస్ ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో, అది ఎస్పీసీబీ వెబ్సైట్లో కూడా ఉంది, మనం కూడా లిస్ట్ మీకు షేర్ చేసాము, కాంట్రాక్టర్స్కి షేర్ చేసాము, ఫ్యూ సిఎస్ఎంపీస్లో ఇన్కార్పొరేట్ కూడా చేసాము. మళ్ళీ మీకు కావాలన్నా కూడా మళ్ళీ మేము లిస్ట్ షేర్ చేస్తాము, వాళ్ళందరితోటి టైఅప్ అవ్వండి. అండ్ నేను ఫ్యూ ఆఫ్ ది కాంట్రాక్టర్స్ దే హ్యావ్ ఆల్రెడీ ఎంటర్డ్ ఎంఓయూ విత్ ఫ్యూ రీసైక్లింగ్ ఏజెన్సీస్, ఆథరైజ్డ్ ఏజెన్సీస్, దట్ ఈస్ గుడ్. ఇంకా ఎవరైతే టైఅప్ అవ్వాలో వాళ్ళు టైఅప్ అవ్వండి. మీకు ఇంకా కాంటాక్ట్స్ కావాలన్నా కూడా మళ్ళీ మీరు మా దగ్గరికి మమ్మల్ని సంప్రదిస్తే మేము షేర్ కూడా చేస్తాం మళ్ళీ మీకు. సో ఎస్పెషల్లీ రీసైక్లబుల్ వేస్ట్, తర్వాత యూజ్డ్ ఆయిల్స్, తర్వాత బయోమెడికల్ వేస్ట్కి, హజార్డస్ వేస్ట్కి, తర్వాత ఈ వేస్ట్కి, వీళ్ళందరికీ కూడా మనకి ఆథరైజ్డ్ ఏజెన్సీస్ ఎస్పీసీబీ వాళ్ళ లిస్ట్ వెబ్సైట్లో ఉంది. ఆ ఏజెన్సీస్ లిస్ట్ కూడా మీకు ఇవ్వడం జరిగింది. వాళ్ళతో ఖచ్చితంగా టైఅప్ అవ్వాలి. బయోడిగ్రేడబుల్ వేస్ట్కి ఖచ్చితంగా ఆన్ సైట్ మనకి ఆర్గానిక్ కంపోస్టింగ్ అని పెట్టుకోండి, వర్మీ కంపోస్టింగ్ అని పెట్టుకోండి. దట్ ఈస్ యాజ్ పర్ ది కన్వీనియన్స్ ఆఫ్ ది కాంట్రాక్టర్. దిస్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో వన్ ఆఫ్ ది KPIs అండి. లిక్విడ్ వేస్ట్ అండ్ సాలిడ్ వేస్ట్ బోత్ ఆర్ ది KPIs. Regarding topsoil, few of the contractors who have already started their work, they have already started preserving the topsoil. It's a good practice. Please don't mix that soil with other excavated soils or other waste. It should be stored separately. And rest of the contractors also who are yet to start the work, please ensure that the topsoil is preserved and stored separately. And whenever there is a requirement for the greenery purpose, from other contractors or greenery done by the ADCL or APCRDA, that material will be supplied for the respective greenery sites. Okay. And regarding biodiversity conservation, one of the points shared by ACF Mr. PPN Kumar Garu, culinary killing is prohibited. So Wildlife Act ఏం చెప్తుంది అంటే hunting is prohibited అండి. Hunting is prohibited. So First point to be noted is we do not have any IUCN species, endangered or threatened species, vulnerable species ఏవి లేవు మన దగ్గర. అయినప్పటికీ కూడా లోకల్ బర్డ్స్ ఏదైతే ఉన్నాయో, యూ హ్యావ్ టు ట్రైన్ యువర్ లేబర్. ఓకే, దేర్ మైట్ బీ సమ్ పీపుల్ హూ హ్యావ్ ఎ కల్చరల్ హ్యాబిట్ ఆఫ్ కిల్లింగ్ ది బర్డ్స్ అండ్ ఈటింగ్. అలాంటివి ఇక్కడ జరగకూడదు. ప్లీజ్ ట్రైన్ యువర్ లేబర్. మేము మీ లేబర్ క్యాంప్ సైట్స్కి వస్తాము, మేము కూడా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాము. But it is also your due responsibility to ensure that, especially from the environment personnel or project management team, you train your labor that culinary killing of the local birds is completely prohibited. Okay. And regarding trees also, existing trees also, already ADCL people, they have started translocation of large number of trees. Few of the contractors, they have already mapped the existing trees, including with the coordinates. Okay. So that data has to be shared to the ADCL team to ensure that whatever trees that are identified for translocation have to be transplanted. ఖచ్చితంగా చేయాలి అది. ఇప్పటివరకు ఎవరైనా ఇచ్చారండి లిస్ట్ అలా? Did anyone share the list of the plants? Ever, sir? Seed access road, it's good. Still any other contractor? ఎవరైనా ఇచ్చారా అలా? Which work అండి? NCC, good. So rest of the contractors, please ensure that none of the trees are cut. Okay, they have to be translocated.
No permission will be given for tree felling. మీరు అప్లై కూడా చేయక్కర్లేదు. We already intimated the concerned officers that not to give any permission for tree felling. Only plants have to be translocated. తప్ప there is no chance for tree felling. ఒక్క ట్రీని కట్ చేసినా సరే it lead to penalty against, not criminal case against everyone. So this is strict no again. సో నో ట్రీ ఫెల్లింగ్, ఓన్లీ ట్రాన్స్లొకేషన్ కాస్ట్ అంతా కూడా సిఎస్ఎంపీలో ఏదైతే 1% అడిషనల్ ఫండ్ పెట్టామో దాని నుంచి కెన్ బి క్లెయిమ్డ్ కంప్లీట్లీ. సో కాంట్రాక్టర్ వాళ్ళ ఓన్ ఫండ్స్తో చేయక్కర్లేదు. సో దేర్ ఇస్ సెపరేట్ బడ్జెట్ ఆల్రెడీ. సో ట్రాన్స్లొకేషన్, వాట్ ఎవర్ ట్రీస్ ఆర్ ట్రాన్స్లొకేటెడ్, సిన్స్ దట్ విల్ బి అథెంటికేటెడ్ బై ద PMC, ద పేమెంట్ ఫర్ కంప్లీట్ దోస్ ట్రాన్స్లొకేటెడ్ ట్రీస్ విల్ బి డన్ ఫ్రమ్ ద CSMP అడిషనల్ అమౌంట్.
So preserve చేసిన వాళ్ళము అవుతాము. So please ensure that those trees are preserved in a very unavoidable situations. We ensure that they are translocated, not cut. Okay, as part of habitat management in biodiversity. So apart from preserving and translocation of existing trees, we have to ensure that whatever other environment measures like and not releasing of any effluents into the water bodies, okay, scientific management of waste, all these also contribute to the habitat management. So I want to say very last point, which is very important. మీరు అది వార్నింగ్ అనుకోవచ్చు, ఏదైనా అనుకోవచ్చు. సి irrespective of like who we are, what status we are and what background we have, okay, none of us are above the law. మనం ఎవరం కూడా చట్టానికి అతీతులం కాదు. Okay, you are going through the many such things which are happening in the country. Everyone who is violating the law has to face the consequences. మీరు ఏ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ నుంచైనా కానివ్వండి, if we notice any such violations or non-compliances, you are responsible. అదే మేము తప్పు చేసినా, మీరు తప్పు చేసినా, we are responsible for that one. So please work with responsibility. Any share of the act of negligence, okay, అది గవర్నమెంట్కి చెడ్డ పేరు రాకూడదు. ఈ ప్రాంతంలో రైతులు ఎవరైతే భూమి ఇచ్చారో వాళ్ళని మనం ఫెయిల్ చేయకూడదు. ఓకే, యువర్ షీర్ యాక్ట్ ఆఫ్ నెగ్లిజెన్స్ షుడ్ నాట్ హ్యాంపర్ ది ప్రాజెక్ట్, అదొకటి గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి.
Okay, before that,
facilities, I think project managers, team leaders, please focus on this aspect. Any project facility should be properly developed. Okay, the main issue is because you don't develop, there is no hard surface, it will create dust, it will create slushy environment, it will create all sorts of issues. So please focus that the project managers develop their facilities properly. So simple principle is wherever vehicle moves, that should be a hard surface. So please make this principle. So your construction facility is going to be there for 2 or 3 years, right? So you will be spending time and effort if you don't develop the facility, right? Labor camp or facility. So please make sure that hard surface is laid, right? Either CC, PCC, whatever you want, it should be there for future. So maintenance will reduce, our issues will reduce. That is the foremost thing. Similarly, same with the access roads, approach roads outside, which is your responsibility. They should be properly maintained, right? Any dusty road, you cannot control dust with that kind of dust. Even if you put every half an hour water, you cannot control, right? Even if you put chemicals, you cannot control. So it should be properly surfaced, these two things. Third, the tire washing facility or in the badging facility, the storage tank, everything should be properly constructed right now, okay? So then we will actually reduce lot of issues, your work will be smoothened up, okay? That's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
To visit each and every of these locations, because you are the final instructing authority as per the bid document, to give direct instructions on the field on behalf of the APCRDA and us. So while established చేసిన plans, routes, traffic diversion plans, labor camps, their offices shall be properly inspected by your team and give proper support for them. And there is no dearth of funds, basically. I would like to highlight again and again. There is no dearth of the funds for all these aspects. ఇవి చేయటం వల్ల we are going to incur some cost అన్నదే క్వశ్చనే లేదు. Because unlike in any other project, separate money in the part A of the contract, not in the part B. Part B అయితే మీకు మళ్ళీ సెపరేట్గా చేసుకోవాల్సి వస్తుంది. పార్ట్ ఏ ఆఫ్ ద టెండర్లోనే విచ్ ఈజ్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద ఈసీవీలోనే ఈ అడిషనల్ 1% అమౌంట్ అనేది పెట్టడం జరిగింది. సో సమ్ కాంట్రాక్టర్స్ గాట్ 18 packages, some got 15 packages, some got 6 packages. సో అందుచేత the amount of money which is for the safeguards is very huge amount of money for every contractor. So దాన్ని కన్సర్న్ ఇంజనీర్తోని ESM టీమ్తో మాట్లాడి do more additional safeguards so that we don't do any these kind of miscalculations or save unnecessary cost, because in the future again it will lead to more costly affair for you and for us also. అటువంటి మిస్టేక్స్ ఏం చేయకుండా ensure that we take all the safeguards, maintain all our facilities in a very, very professional manner, and we don't cause any disturbance to the local population also.
Capacity building in a way for you and for us and everybody. So నేను చెప్పొచ్చేది ఏంటంటే రెండు, ఈ కెపాసిటీ బిల్డింగు ఇంతవరకు జరిగింది. యాక్చువల్ ఆపరేటర్స్ ఫీల్డ్లో డ్రైవర్లు, వర్కర్స్ వీళ్ళందరూ ఉంటారు. సో చెప్పొచ్చేది ఏంటంటే యూ నీడ్ టు క్యారీ అవుట్ ద సిమిలర్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ డ్రిల్ capacity programs for your staff at the ground level. maybe for the truck drivers and for construction labor and all that, which you do otherwise differently. But ఒకసారి ఇది ఒకటి మీ గ్రౌండ్ లెవెల్ అది జరగాలి. రెండోది ఐఎమ్ జస్ట్ సజెస్టింగ్ APCRDA అండ్ PGMC మార్నింగ్ నుంచి మనం డిఫరెంట్ టాపిక్స్ మీద డిస్కస్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నాం. So let us explore the possibility of carrying out deep dive programs on specific things, maybe on solid waste management, maybe on traffic management, exclusively one capsule for the respective people. So get into more and more in detail for 1.5 hours like that, a limited thing. That will help them further. I stop it here.
Downstairs, so everybody can please proceed to have their lunch. There is one more session on gender-based violence, which we will conduct after the lunch. So I request everyone to back by 2:30 sharp so that we can finish our program within time. Thank you.